It's time to follow the money with Mitch Moss and Pauly Howard, only on the Vegas Stats and Information Network, Sirius XM Channel 204.
We're live in Vegas, baby. South Point Sportsbook. Mitch Moss, Pauly Howard. Mike Palm's going to join us in studio here momentarily. By the way, how cool is this? Matt Humans, JVT, Matt Holt, Bruce Marshall, they're going to anchor our Sweet 16 and Elite 8 BetCast coverage immediately after my guys in the desert starting tonight at 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 o'clock Pacific.
Wow.
BetCast tonight, tomorrow night, and both days this weekend as well.
Beautiful.
For the Elite 8.
How about that, huh? VSiN gets picked up by NESN and Sling. All of a sudden, now they're going to have programming. I love it. I love it.
Okay. So,
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Social assassin.
Okay.
Right, yeah.
Nobody's safe.
Okay.
You are the Larry David of the VSiN personalities.
Curb
That's
your
a high
enthusiasm.
compliment.
What a show. Curb your
It's
enthusiasm.
maybe the best of all time.
Yes.
You are a social assassin. Who do you want to snipe right now?
I don't want to snipe anybody. I mean, I just, we'll talk. And
What do you think of these new young punks taking over Las Vegas? Timmy Fitzgerald here at the South Point. You have Matt Lindemann over at Caesars, very sharp, and this John Murray fellow over at the Westgate.
Well, I was, Tim does a great job. He comes on your show. Lindemann's appearance yesterday was A+. I mean, it was great. And then, but Murray is a very good personality and face of that book there. I know Jay is a public, but he's so good, Murray. But he was very cranky yesterday. I mean, we invited you guys to come down to the D to hang out and watch the games on Friday. I didn't know it was going to cause so much angst at the Superbook. I mean, Murray was, 4 or 5 times he mentioned it? I mean, John and Jay, I just want to tell you, these guys both told me on Friday they wouldn't have been at the D if Jeff Sherman would have been working. But why would he have been working on the Thursday, Friday of March Madness? So, but it's not about the book. They just didn't want to come if Sherman wasn't there. So let's clear that up right now.
How about that? He gets it off no matter what.
It's in the contract. He's got a contract there.
Mm-hmm.
That is crazy.
That's impressive, though.
That is crazy.
If he has to work in the casino industry, it won't be like that.
Well, like Jeff's biggest event of the entire year, it's the Masters.
Yeah.
He's really good.
But he can't take those. I mean, he's going to be working at home when he has those days off the entire time.
He'll probably be working during the majors.
Yeah.
I mean, he's really good. He's good with more than just golf, though.
No, he's great.
He's very sharp.
Okay, so how are you feeling right now? I mean, you can't get too high in this business. You can't get too low.
I'm exhausted. There's so much pressure. I didn't even want to play last night.
Are you feeling the pressure now?
Sure. Uneasy lies the
absolutely.
head that wears the crown. I mean, my God. I mean, it's hard. I didn't want to even put out picks yesterday, but I mean.
You got to 11 in a row. So
I did.
You really, yes.
I did, and, we lose by a half a goal with the Blackhawks, but we loaded up. I actually tripled up on Colorado when the contrarian poison came out on that. When I saw that tweet from the sharp plays, when I went on Brent, I said, we're upgrading this. I know when I sent the plays into Jorge, it was a Group 2. It's Group 1 now. And I had 500. I had another 1,000 on him at plus 110 last night. When he come in on him, his side plays are awful. How about that day he had Philadelphia against Washington 8 different ways?
Yeah,
and they got that 5-0.
It was a blood bet, but yeah, sure. So I knew it was a good bet last night, and this might sound silly to some people listening right now, but you've been red hot, so you can't go against you right now. And then when this guy comes in and says, I'm all in right now on VGK, and the game was just like a throwaway for that whole team last night, it's like, okay, it's time to fire right now.
They only brought half the team on this road trip.
Yeah.
But really, the line was wrong. And I said this.
Yeah.
Colorado should have been $1.20. How could VGK
you're right.
at 130 and they bet them up? They bet them up. It makes no sense. They don't need the game. The Pacific can't change. The seeds are all set. They're going to San Jose in the first round. Calgary will host the number 2 wild card. It's all determined. There's nothing to play for in that division. You can see it from Calgary. That's why I bet Dallas. These teams that need to get in the playoffs and are fighting for their playoff lives are beating these teams that are already in.
Also, you've done a great job. You were on this early. And the first time, I'm like, who's this Mike Palm character? We're doing our first Follow the Money 6 with the first periods, and sometimes you were going against us. But you found this with these goalies. You were on Bennington before anybody. He's crushing it in St. Louis. You were on Kemper, and now you're on
Grubauer.
Yeah, how about that? He's been
Grubauer had a 5.1 goals against, and they went to Nashville, and he shut out Nashville 5-0, and I got on him. and the public still
It took one game, and you said I'm on.
I watched how he played. He stood on his head in that game. I mean, they were up 3-0. They played no offense for the back half of the second period and the third period, and they just attacked this guy, and he stood on his head. I mean, he went from a 5-point goals against down to 3 that quick. He became the number one, and he put them from out of the playoffs into the playoffs.
Yeah.
And the public still hasn't caught up to him.
You're big on goalies.
17-2. Now 17-3.
17-3.
The first period unders, and it's because he's shutting out everybody in the first period.
Yeah. What else has been working? I mean, this got to be the best run of your life. 28-3 since Sunday.
Well, it's pretty good. Yeah, right? I mean, it's pretty. One of Derek's friends, well, he had a bunch of them in town, but Private Plane Wayne Peters, he's our stockbroker too. Anyhow, he's Derek's friend from back in Detroit. He was out with a bunch of buddies, and he comes in Saturday morning. What do you got? Well, I had the Flyers against the Islanders, right? The Flyers are up they're up 1-0, and he lays 2:30 end game with them because he missed the start of the game and they blow. He says, I'm getting off you. I said, bad timing.
Absolutely.
Since at 28-3, but the rest of the day, Saturday, I went 5-1. So it's like from that point that he got on that game and it lost, it's like 33-4.
Wow, he's the cooler.
He's the cooler.
He started
That's
the
right.
whole thing.
Private Plane. No, he's really.
So what percentage of the plays have been hockey, first period or for the game, and then other sports as well? Because you're throwing in a little NBA here.
Yeah. So in this 28-3 run, it's 3-0 NCAA tournament. It's 3-0 NBA, right? And then it's 22-3 in hockey.
Jeez.
So I failed in hockey.
Mike.
Yeah, right.
I missed the first period under last night I missed the first period under with New Jersey and Buffalo. It was 1-1 also, but the game went under.
Yeah.
And then I had Calgary against the Kings. I laid a puck and a half. They got shut out by Jack Campbell. Those are the only three losses in the run.
We see the lines. You see the final score.
Well, and 28-3, and 11 of those are plus prices.
Is that right?
Yes, 11 are plus
Incredible.
prices. Well, a lot of the first period unders are plus prices.
Yeah.
Let me ask you.
And then we had 3 dogs in hockey last night. Colorado plus 110. The
Stars. We were on the Stars.
Flyers plus 130. Come back from 2-0, and then the Stars plus 140 last night.
Beautiful call on the Stars.
I bet them in game. I bet them in game again when they were up. And I didn't know Bishop was going to go up, but I bet him in game when they went up 1-0. They were only a minus 170. I bet him back again in game.
Okay. What are your day-to-day duties? I mean, you're always on call.
So this is interesting. I'm
Run
going
this
to go
down.
You never sleep.
Let's talk about it. It's. I'm going to be like Derek now. He never sleeps. At least my diet's a little better. But and I don't smoke. So today I'll leave here. Right. I'll go into the office. I have an 8 a.m. phone interview with a kid working in Pittsburgh, a social media marketing guy that we're looking to bring on because as Circus Sports starts blowing up, we need people that know sports culture and can speak a sports language, right? In our social media. And I can't do it all. I have to be my own voice. So I'm going to interview this kid. He's a graduate of Memphis. He actually played football at Memphis. So I'm going to interview him this morning. Then we got a great day of active content management, huh?
Oh,
Look at this lineup.
Wow.
See, and this is why the long bar, is unbelievable.
I just got to tell you something, and I will take no follow-up questions. You'll see every Major League Baseball game today at the long bar.
You will, every single one.
Including the Dodgers. I will take no follow-up questions. But we got all these.
Wait, you can't.
No,
you
there's
can't
no
do
follow-up.
that. You can't do that.
There's no follow-up questions. Okay, no follow-up questions.
Okay, this is not. It's a
You come
statement
down
then.
and you watch.
It's a statement.
Uh-huh.
Tell us how you can do that.
No follow-up directives. Just come and watch. You should see all the Dodger fans.
Are you
all the
blacked
blue,
out anything?
The blue hats. Maybe not. So.
Tonight's an unbelievable night. Sweet 16,
Look at all
these
these
NBA games, the NHL.
12:30 and 1 o'clock. Yeah, but we'll have them all on, and then it's good. If Major League Baseball can keep these games to 3 hours, it's great because you got the rematch. The Capitals go to Raleigh, and then the game of the week. This is Montreal at the Blue Jackets. If Montreal loses tonight, they're out. I'm telling you this right now. They're up 2 points, but Columbus has a game in hand. Listen to the schedules. Here's what Columbus has following this. At Nashville, at Buffalo, Boston at home, at the Rangers, at Ottawa. Listen to Montreal's last 4 games. At Winnipeg, Tampa Bay, at Capitals, and then their rival Toronto. They got to win tonight. They've got to get separation. If the Blue Jackets beat them in regulation and they're tied going in with a game in hand and these 2 schedules, Montreal will not make the playoffs.
Are you playing? I like it under.
Love it under.
Yeah, okay.
You love it under.
What did I tell you about that Islanders game? It's going to be a straight under.
Yep.
This is playoff hockey.
Mm-hmm.
These totals that are 6 and 6.5 now are going to be 5 in the playoffs.
That's the Blackhawks.
It's just that's how it changes. Just like the NBA too. The game changes in the playoffs.
Yeah. Back to your schedule. So Derek likes to go out and drink. So I mean, are you encouraged to hang out with VIPs, and high rollers? Do you have to? I mean, what's
Yeah, that's part of it. You socialize with your customers and help them enjoy their experience. So we'll get the programming started at 10 a.m., line up the long bar. Several meetings this afternoon. We have a credit committee meeting, a compliance meeting this afternoon. Then I meet with our hosts at 4. That'll be quick because of the tip at 4:10. There's a 4:10 tip, so I told the hosts, quick meeting, 15 minutes tops.
Yep.
And and then we watched the 2 hockeys in the 4, and then we got the 1 baseball game. We got Sale tonight. So.
Well, by the way, explain that with Derek too, because he has meetings all day long, like every single day, and he tells people you get 1 hour.
That's it.
Once an hour
if it goes
is up,
if it goes 1:15, there's a lot of tension. You know what I mean? You go around the circle. If you have nothing to say, pass, and let's move on. I mean, don't make stuff up that's not constructive.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You pass.
Sure.
You have a meeting to have other meetings.
Yeah.
I can't stand that crap.
In business, and people will find this, any meeting that's over 6 people is not an influential. You can't get anything done. There's just too many people. It can only be informative, but it cannot be constructive.
You have thought of everything, and you were a great host on Friday and a great time had by all. Well, at least most. Well, we'll get to that in a second. How about the fact that you had fish as part of because there was an incident what happened last year with
I said this. We started this 7 years ago. I guess this was our 8th. We did it in 2012 in the ballroom, and it was just me and a porter and a cocktail waitress and 4 big screens, right? And then it's developed to the 600 people a day with 4 table games and all that. But I said this when we added food the second year. They said, well, we have the ACI, the Coney Islands. They got the wings, the hot dogs, the nachos, this, that, and the other. And we had another vendor at the time. I said, on Fridays during this event, we always have to have fish. You're exaggerating that. I said, no. The Catholics will only eat fish, and we're going to turn away business. So the first year we didn't have it. St. Patrick's Day actually fell on that Friday. I mean, Notre Dame played that day too. Everybody walked into the ballroom with a green shamrock shake and a fillet of fish bag from McDonald's. We lost all that business because we didn't have fish. So now every year we always have the fish and chips on Friday in the ballroom.
Good move. I love how you guys can scramble, by the way.
How about the move with the cash at the bars when the ATMs went down?
That's where I was going with this.
I talked about that in our meeting. That kid had David Rossboro's his name. He's getting promoted to vice president. He'll be on the same level as me here coming up in April. He came up with this move of let's get the cash at the bars. We'll let them run their credit card as a purchase. Instead of giving them $500 worth of alcohol, we'll give them the cash and no fee.
No charge.
They beat the fee. The fees are ridiculous to begin.
Sure,
but they beat the fee.
For those that don't know, okay, so it wasn't just a problem down there. It was like citywide. It was the entire strip. All ATMs were down for, I don't know, half of a day?
It was over 3 hours. It was a problem with Every and a server, and it didn't respond or whatever. But
I guess sports books were having trouble putting in some bets too.
Yeah,
certain sports books.
They were.
It's weird.
They were for down for over an hour, a couple of them. But he had a great idea. But that's our ability as a small company that's not a corporation. We have the ability to scramble.
Yeah.
At a big corporation, they'd have had to put that through 4 committees to make that. It does no sense to it. You can't get it done quick enough.
And then moving forward, so 12th floor is where you guys had it this year. Mm-hmm. But you brought us out in the balcony and that downtown event center that you guys have right outside, which I've been to for a concert. It's a great venue.
What concert did you go to, Mitch?
I went to
Can you remember?
Shine Down Godsmack.
Okay.
Probably back in October, whenever it was.
Yeah.
Good concert. But you want to have the March Madness out there.
We're going to do both. We'll have the ballroom. People will have a choice because they love those man caves up there but we'll also have it outside for 4 days, and we'll make a big push to get everybody on our app for Circus Sports during that. That's going to be a thing. You can go to the outside party. You got to download the app, and it's free of charge. You just pay for the food and beverage. We'll have tables. If you want to reserve tables, it'll be like a $50 beverage minimum. But think of the weather. Think of how the weather is in March and being out there.
Great.
And I mean, if it takes off, we can put 6,000 people out there like we do for the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm. Mike Palm from the D, VP. With the Circle Las Vegas coming soon. I was on the website last night. The video's outstanding. I make one of us minus $7 to get arrested when that thing opens. The jail's right down the street. What do you say?
Well, who's the favorite there? After Friday, it might be a pick'em. I mean, this guy.
It'll happen.
I don't know what happened to him.
I don't know. It's embarrassing.
I brought him.
I was winning all of my bets. It was great.
3 blue moons. Mm-hmm. Okay, he starts out around
I asked
noon.
you for a Peroni. You let this guy. You bring a director's chair up for him. You say he can watch the games in a row if he wants in front of everybody else. I asked for a Peroni. No, he can't have it.
Here's the thing. It's a lot in the presentation, Mitch. He said, "Is there any way I could get a chair?" He didn't ask for a director's chair. He didn't demand anything. I brought him a nice chair. You said, why isn't there this Italian beer? It's a ballroom. You think we're going to have an Italian beer on tap in a bar? I'm surprised it's at the long bar.
Now you're misleading the public here.
Anyhow,
I don't care for this.
I'm exaggerating. 3 blue moons and 3 vodka sodas, and he became catatonic. He couldn't walk. He couldn't talk.
Something
He was
funny.
like,
Something funny happened there.
He tried to enunciate a word.
I think.
Then
yeah.
a porter came to me. He says, "Hey, what's with your friend?" He's bouncing. He's like a pinball machine trying to find the bathroom in the hallway.
I left my drinks open with a lot of people there. I don't know what happened.
The phone's sitting on the table. His wife's texting him. It just keeps buzzing. He's ignoring his wife. It's her birthday weekend. He says he's going to take an Uber like 7:30. 10:30's down on the second floor wandering around, talking to himself. Says he ate at Andiamo and had chicken wings. Here, I brought an Andiamo menu.
No, I never said that at all.
Okay, yeah.
Yes.
Can you show us where chicken wings are on this menu?
No, again.
No, seriously.
Now it's just, okay, I'll sit here and take this, but it's all total lies. I had the chicken wings, jackass, that you talked about in the 12th floor, the ballroom.
Chicken wings at Andiamo.
And they were
Where's the chicken
fantastic.
wings?
I said, "What are you going to eat?" He said, "I said, what are you going to eat?" He said,
So let's
"Chicken
move
wings."
on. He says,
How did he order? 'Cause
I
he
don't
couldn't
know.
talk.
I don't. Maybe he wrote it down.
You saw me eat the chicken wings in the ballroom area.
Pauly says you told him he had chicken wings at the
No,
Andiamo.
I had the chicken
I got
wings
that
there.
from Pauly. I believe Pauly on it. If that's incorrect, I blame Pauly, but I doubt he ever lies about
Oh, so
anything.
good. This is like a game of telephone now all of a sudden.
Yeah, it is. Tell 20 people. So now you say finally he gets in an Uber. I'm worried about him. I'm texting him on Saturday morning. Did you hear from him? Nothing. Nope. Zero. What happened? What do you think happened to him? All of a sudden, 9:13 blows up on Twitter. He's having dinner with Kelly in Vegas. What a birthday weekend for his wife.
On
What
Saturday.
classy.
Yeah.
And then he complains she doesn't cook enough for him. She has to cook all day at home.
Well, she doesn't.
For your birthday, does she ask you to give her pics? Find some trends for me, Mitch. Unbelievable.
I don't know if I
Still
can
married. 9 years.
Hey, I don't
and
know if
she's going to jail if the dog gets off the leash. Unreal.
I don't think I can trust your staff down there. 5 or 6 drinks, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, look at this.
You
look at this
started it.
lunatic.
I mean, you were staring. That was like an 8-second stare. Poor girl. She's trying to make a living. She didn't pick the outfit. Unreal.
All right, are you done?
I thought you were going to ask me about games. I came on here to
Okay, so we got to get cannot bury the lead any longer. Up next, Mike Palm's going to continue with us in studio. 28-3. You see how I build you up the entire time? 28-3, and according to his math, 33-4. Pretty soon it's going to be 51-5.
I wish.
Who does he like tonight? Been red hot with the NHL 22-3 and 6-0 in hoops in the stretch. We'll get his official plays for tonight coming up next.
Your search is over. You found Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Pauly Howard on Sirius XM 204. Now listen up for Winformation.
There is no better time than March, especially when it comes to betting. Now is the perfect time to try out the new PointsBet app. PointsBet is New Jersey's premium sportsbook. Check out their Make It Rain promotion. Gotta love ideas like this. Every tournament game you bet on, get $3 whenever your team hits a 3. It's the best March promo out there. Download the PointsBet app and get an instant $50 free bonus plus $1,000 in risk-free bets. Just sign up with the code VSIN. That's VSIN. New Jersey only. Must be 21 plus. Additional terms and conditions apply. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. PointsBet. Stay sharp. Mike Palm with us from the D, downtown Las Vegas. You have to love ideas like this, don't you? Make It Rain promotion, that kind of stuff.
I'm paying no attention. What's Make It Rain? I don't know. I'm looking at the lines.
You came
I'm
in.
not here to pimp for products here.
You came in studio today, spitting fire. Oh, this guy doesn't
What's
like promotions.
Make It Rain? Why didn't you tell me about it? I thought it was a manscaping read. That's why I tuned out. I
big
mean,
time all of a sudden. Let me tell you.
manscaping read. How about Pure? How about the Mennonite Mafia? What happened to that show, WGN? All right.
All right, let's
What
go
happened?
rapid fire.
Let's not waste any more
What
time. here.
happened?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
you do have to give Mitch credit. You had a great line. He did do something that the NHL team could not.
He was
do.
able to make it to Andiamo.
He made it to
Sure.
dinner.
Yeah.
What did you eat? What did you have at Andiamo? Set the record
No,
straight.
that's off the record.
Boy, what a bitch.
Doesn't matter.
He's like a
I
little
am,
bitch.
huh?
Tough
Yeah.
crowd. All right,
Yeah.
tough crowd. Here we go. So you love. Got to put the gloves on. Okay, so you love Montreal Columbus under 5.5.
First period under.
Okay.
We don't know the number yet. Lay up to 120 there. Lay 120.
Price has been great. How about $1.60 with the Blue Jackets? Too steep?
I don't know. I think it's going to be a great game. I'd rather sweat the total and watch this game, but
All right.
I thought this number really should have been about 135, so it's a little steep, and it's probably going to get bet up.
How about the champs plus money against Carolina? Just beat them. They're 3-0 against them. Just beat them 4-1.
Yeah.
Trying to win the division, 3-point lead.
Thought
over
this
Pittsburgh.
game would be a pick 'em.
Okay.
I think there's value with the Capitals here, but it'll be a great crowd in Raleigh, huh? This is one of the biggest games they've had in a long, long time.
Yeah. By the way, I am seeing flat on that first period for the Blue Jackets tonight.
Unload.
Unload on the
Unload on it.
Okay.
Bobrovsky and Price. When you get 2 goalies, I don't care how good the teams are, and this is playoff hockey. We're into it right now.
All right, it's 28-3, folks. I like the Jets $1.50 at home against the Islanders. The Jets were terrible at home the other night, and their lead is down to 2 over Nashville.
Dallas made them look silly the other night.
Yeah, they did.
I hope Ben Bishop's healthy. Another lower body injury. I mean, if he's not healthy, they're not going anywhere. But if he's healthy, they can beat, just like Bennington. They can beat anybody. How do you get the puck past that guy? He covers the whole goal, Bishop. I laid off. I laid off that game with Winnipeg.
Yeah, like the seal in the Geico commercial. Dynamite. You doing anything with the Blackhawks?
No, nothing with the Blackhawks.
5 out of the last 6 under.
I would have. If they could have won in Arizona, I would have loved them tonight because I think now they're mentally out of it. Sharks, 6 in a row they've
Yes,
lost?
how about that? Detroit got them.
Detroit dominated that game. Jonathan Bernier dominated that.
How about the back-to-back for the Red Wings? They come here to Vegas, beat them, big dogs, and then do that to the Sharks.
Yeah, and you didn't get. I thought they had no shot because Howard couldn't go back-to-back, and then Bernier held them down. Scored 28 seconds into the game, and the first period went under.
Okay, this is kind of a meaningless game, but the Panthers, my God. I mean, they just got absolutely crushed against Montreal.
Love the Senators tonight.
Okay, good.
Yep, there you
Plus
go.
120.
That's why I loved Montreal the other night. The Panthers have packed it in. They turned the puck over. They don't care if they're giving us 7, 8 goals a game. They don't know who to put in goal. The kid got bombed. The French kid from Quebec, Montembeau, he got bombed. Luongo played all the minutes. They put Reimer in. They lit him up for 3 right away. I mean, what are they going to do? Ottawa's played well. Played well at home, too, down the stretch.
That's right.
Crawford. I think Crawford lit a little fire under him, said, you're playing to see if you're on the team next year, boys.
Sure. So that's not the biggest bet, though, the best bet. Let's go to baseball for that.
Yeah, I like the Dodgers. And if you'd like to watch it, come on down to Long Bar at 1 o'clock. This is a fade Greinke play, okay?
Uh-huh.
I don't think baseball preseason is really informative for much of anything except pitchers that are on the decline. Greinke's lost about 4 miles an hour off his fastball off last year. I'm not saying he won't regain some of it, but I think he's a steady fade this year.
And the last time we saw this was Barry Zito, all of a sudden off a cliff, and Weaver. Remember what happened to Weaver?
Big time with Weaver, yeah.
He lost his first 11 starts and whatever. That's a good angle.
Greinke's still going to get valued by the public.
Right.
He's a popular guy anyhow. Wherever he's gone, Milwaukee, Kansas City, Arizona, people love him, and the people will bet him. I bet him heavy the last couple of years and did pretty well with it, even laying $1.70, $1.80. I'm just going to try to fade him and see how this goes.
So are you in the same boat then with Clayton Kershaw? Because he's throwing, he's always hurt. He's throwing 90, 91 miles an hour.
Yeah, I don't know. I can only hope they make the postseason to bet against him all the time because of the value there. But I'm not sure this guy's going to make 20 starts this year.
I know.
Now it's this year. Usually it's mid-season. He goes on the shelf August. Now he's on the shelf right away without even having thrown. Couldn't throw.
Are you doing anything today? Maybe first 5 or the game with the Orioles? Are you going to wait?
No,
nothing at all. Even if it gets to like $4?
No,
I just can't do it.
I guess you'd have to talk yourself into Tanaka being bad today and that they're going to win. Then bet the game over because what are you going to? Cashner going to hold down the Yankees?
Oh, that's a good point.
You know what I mean? If there's a play, I think it's on the over.
And Tanaka was not good against the Orioles last year.
No, he wasn't. But I don't know. Boy, I fade this team. I think they're under 60 wins, under 59.5.
Jesus.
I bet them. I bet them under.
Wow.
I bet them under. Look at their schedule open the year.
Oh.
They're going to be like 11-44, 12-43 to open the year. They got the Yankees, the Red Sox. I mean,
yeah. Are you the same with the Marlins?
I'm not as down on the Marlins.
You're not.
I think the Marlins, I'm a wait and see approach here. But I think this bet that the Orioles are only a minus 120 at the Westgate to have the most losses, I think there's a lot of value in that bet because I think the Marlins will be better than them, and then there's nobody else in the conversation for over 100 losses, I don't think.
Could be.
I thought that line should have been $2.
Yeah?
Brent told me, guess the line. I said 180. He said, no, 120.
Really?
I went down there.
Okay, good job. Anything else you like in MLB, or how about Sweet 16?
I like. I do like the first 5 innings, and I usually play first 5 innings. The first 5 innings under with the great pitching matchup with DeGrom and Scherzer. 3.5. You got to lay some juice on that, and then I also like Sale in the first 5.
Okay.
I think He actually should be about 230 in this game.
He owns Seattle.
Yeah, he owns them, but they won the 2 games in Japan, so the price is a little better here. So those are my 3 plays in baseball. I looked at Kluber a little bit. Can't understand why he's almost a pick 'em today. So I'll wait and see on that. Maybe we'll end game that. NCAA tonight. My big play is tomorrow. We'll get to that.
All right.
But it's everybody's big play now. I'm listening to on your network. I gave this out on Sunday. That I thought Carolina would be a double-digit winner. They're going to roll them. Bruce Pearl wants to run with Carolina.
Yeah, I thought the same exact
The
thing.
only way you're going to beat Carolina is you get them to play half court and they take bad shots because they're prone to take bad shots.
Yep.
Virginia. I really would like Virginia against North Carolina if they meet in the Final Four.
It'll be a different game than the first time. But remember, Carolina led that game by 6 in the second half, and Virginia shut them down the last 9 minutes.
It swung twice.
Yes.
Virginia had a 7-point lead, I think, at halftime.
And then Carolina made that big run.
And then,
And since that game, Carolina's only loss was by 1 to Duke, and they've played really outstanding tonight. So when I made my bracket, I have Tennessee coming out of that region, and and after the second half against Iowa, I'm just gun shy. Maybe I'll play them first half tonight and lay 0.5 point. I just don't trust them down the stretch. I mean, there was a telling possession in that game at the 18:40 mark. They had the ball. And they shot with 5, and they got an offensive rebound. They ran it down to 10 and got an. They had 3 offensive rebounds. They had a 2-minute possession where all they did was hold the ball. And I said, this is too early to go into this offense. I mean, you ran Iowa off the court in the first half.
Silly.
He's going to try to run out the last 19 minutes of the game.
He doesn't have a clue. He's terrible. So is Coach K.
I won't go that far. But
You won't go that far. Come
no,
on.
I won't go that far.
What do you think of Coach K? He's got 3 of the top 5 picks. They run nothing on offense. You agree with that?
I agree that in game he's not the best coach. I think you might have to.
Well, I understand that. No, some guys are great recruiters, can't coach. Other guys are great.
Well, he's got 5 national champions.
Will you stop?
He started a program out of nothing with Duke when Carolina was running the.
Yeah. All right. Great.
Now he's the head of a corporation. He's a CEO now. That's what
Fair,
he is. He's a figurehead.
A lot of times the game passes you by, though.
I don't think it's fair he got to be the USA basketball coach so long.
And by the way, running commercials for him doing that,
you know what I mean? Calipari was right about that. What a recruiting disadvantage. The guy you're going to get to play on the Olympic team if you go to, So I might play Tennessee first half. Boy, I've been so high on this Oregon team. I've had them in the last week and a half. I've had them as my best bet 4 times. And I mean, really, they've covered easily all 4 times. Got punched in the face by Cal Irvine. Came right back, blew them out of the game.
Right. Good point.
But, this is tough with Virginia. I have to bet. Here, I'm in a spot right now. I have to make a bet because I have so much money on under 11.5 with Jay Rude.
You got in on that, too.
The only way I lose is if Oregon goes to the Final Four, right? Because North Carolina's going to blow out Auburn. They're 5s out. It's going to be all 1s, 2s, and 3s. But Oregon blows it up themselves. So what do I do here? Do I take the 7.5, or do I bet Oregon at 10-1 or 9-1 to win the region?
You get 9.
Yeah, 9-1 to win the region.
9 plus 9.
Oh, anyhow.
But yeah,
I don't know. Vinny said try to middle it. Take the points with Oregon. Maybe you middle it. Virginia wins, and if not, then you bet them back in the other game.
How's Derek feeling with his $100,000 bet? He's now at the $1.35 favorite.
Yeah. Did you see they put it up at 160 Sunday night?
We got to that high.
160, you could take the field for 140. Everybody jumped all over it and dropped right back down. Okay. But they needed the field money, obviously. Yeah, they were so heavy on the 4. Derek feels good because he knew Kansas had no shot. Mm-hmm. He's going to get one team out of this side. You hope it's Duke, because if you want to come back, Duke will be the most favorite over any team out of the other side. But here's the problem. I said to Vinny, make a number on Duke Carolina in the final. He said you could make a number for pick or for Duke 1. So I mean, you're getting no value there.
Oh, yes.
If you want to come back with the dog, and I agree. I think it's a straight pick 'em if it's them in the final.
So what's your tier 1 play tonight then?
My tier 1 play tonight is the Dodgers.
Okay, that's your favorite
this morning. That's my favorite. Right. My favorite play. And then if this game is really even, if I can get even money on the first period, I'll make that a tier 1 play. Columbus under with Montreal. I'll make that a tier 1 play as well.
Okay. All right, you going to stick around?
I'd love to if you'd have me.
We're going to continue with Mike Palm, the D, downtown Las Vegas, 28-3 in his last 31 plays, 9-0 on Tuesday with Brent on My Guys in the Desert, 4-1 again last night with a couple of dogs. Hang around, and we'll do Win Some, Lose Some coming up next, and then we'll talk to Bruce Marshall in about 10 minutes as well.
Nobody puts this Bruce Marshall's feet to the fire. Let's get to Bruce Marshall. I'm just kidding. He's one of the nicest people I ever met.
He really is. Yeah.
Vinny told me before I met him, Bruce Marshall's the nicest guy you'll meet in this business. He wasn't wrong.
No, he's fantastic.
Yeah.
All that coming up next here on VSiN.
It's been between 2 and 3 minutes. You know what that means. It must be time for more Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Pauly Howard on Sirius XM 204.
Listen up, fellas. 9 out of 10 women of all ages prefer their guy Manscaped. Got to have the right tools. Pop on over to manscaped.com. Check out their perfect package. The Manscaped Perfect Package 2.0. Smash it on Shark Tank. Its skin-safe technology means no more accidental nicks and burns. Get 20% off plus free shipping today. Visit manscaped.com. Promo code VEASAN. Promo code VEASAN. Manscaped.com. Why should you do it? Hygiene, appearance, attractiveness, confidence. The Perfect Package 2.0. Manscaped.com. Time for win-lose.
Rough night?
Can't call it a bad beat. Definitely lose some.
Good night? How does it make you feel?
I absolutely hate them. I absolutely hate them.
Follow the Money looks back so we can learn for today.
Everything's an adventure.
In Win Some, Lose Some. Let the education commence.
Bad beats, bad pushes. Warriors, Grizzlies over 221. No point in the final minute 6. Memphis missed a free throw, which was followed by 5 offensive rebounds and all misses. Golden State finally corrals the rebound, dribbles it out, 118-103. I couldn't believe that sequence.
Yeah, you got to try to find the video of that today.
Oh,
it's hilarious.
Crazy. Tough push. Grizzlies first half +6. Led by 1 with a minute left in the half. Big run for Golden State. Durant lays it in with a tenth of a second left, 66-60.
Horrible.
Are you kidding me? Trailblazers Bulls over. Right on the number, 216. 64 points in the fourth quarter combined in a blowout. Bad for the books, Mike Palm, 28-3 since Sunday. With plenty of dogs. And last night, too, 4-1.
The Vegas Hammer.
That's what you are. 4-1 and 2 dogs in hockey. Great call on the Stars. And the Stars bad for the books. Plus, we weren't the only one. Plus 150 down to 130. They won 2-1. Lose some, Mr. Poison. How about this, Mike? Had 100,000 on the Bruins to win 100,000. Risking 360,000 on the Bruins to win 100. They won. 58,000 Toronto Philly over, winner. 25,000 Dallas first period under, winner. 25,000 on the Golden Knights first period over, winner. Lost 87,000 for the day because he had 295 on the Knights.
I don't get it. I mean, the guy's up. Why doesn't he bet these games? If he's betting on his app or on offshore, why doesn't he bet these games? He's up 200,000. Take a pass on that last night.
Right. Don't. Yeah.
I mean,
don't force it.
you cut it down from what 1.9 to 1 point. Hey, I had a good day. Let's take a shot tomorrow. I mean.
Let me run this by you, too, because we've been doing this lately. And sorry to cut in here, but
Go ahead.
to win in regulation in the NHL.
That's where it's at.
Those are really good bets. This guy should start doing that. Like the Bruins last night, they were probably $2 to win in regulation. I had Dallas last night in regulation. That was plus 240. Those are good bets.
They're really good. They're better than the puck and a half.
I think so, yeah.
Yep.
Well, yeah, because you can win by 1. You just don't have to go to overtime.
Right.
And you're getting, in some cases, better value than the puck line. That and you guys bring these good bets up. You bring these bets up that are available to the public here in town. Also, the first 10 minutes, if you like over/under, you're better off betting the first 10 minutes.
Yes.
It's very hard if you go 10 minutes without a goal to go over the 1.5.
I agree.
So you know what I mean. So if you
That's my thought process.
if you like it, you don't have to lay as big of a price.
Yep.
Yeah,
That's my thinking. Do you have an opinion on the Frozen Four? Anything there if you're going to piggyback Randy McKay? And also, can you share the Notre Dame sports betting story that was told to you Friday?
Yeah. I would read that article for those of you that had point. You have the sheet there. You have the sheet of the Frozen Four there, Mitch. You got the matchups there. I thought you were looking at the sheet.
I tossed it. You said you didn't want to talk about it.
my
so,
fault.
And I
Okay.
threw it away.
That's on me.
So he liked Notre Dame. He liked Notre Dame a little bit plus 110.
Okay.
And then there was a game he liked under 5 if you could get to 5, but most places had 4.5. I think William Hill still had, but I'd have to see the names of the teams.
St. Cloud State, big favorite.
It's not my pick. I would just but he's very good at it. Just like he's good at the Division II football. Follow that guy on Division II football.
Wow.
He is so good at because he follows his North Dakota State team, so he follows the whole landscape. He's really good. He's really good at totals and that. If not all places offer those lines, but they all do at the playoff time. We were there at the D, and the guy from Iowa came up and was talking about he is a younger guy and it's probably his early 30s. Said he has 3 kids and his oldest son 7. All 4 of them, he takes the kids to school from school every day. They all listen to VSiN. They love Mike Palm. He said he's driving home. And they're talking about Mike Palm graduated from Notre Dame. He said they got to commercial, and his 7-year-old son said to him from the dad's seat, "Did they say Mike Palm graduated from Notre Dame?" He said, "Yeah." And he said, "Dad, I didn't know that Notre Dame had degrees in gambling." So the kids are learning. They're learning quick.
This is a good tweet from Ramon Scott, who says, "A true active content manager finds a way around blackouts."
Yeah.
I give credit to my boss on that one.
Okay, all right.
Off the record, how many tweets did you get since your last appearance, and also to tie it in with the madness about? Guess what? Here, look at this. Softball's on.
I love the pictures. You got to put a picture up.
It's great.
You got to put the picture up. Those are my favorite tweets.
Yeah, isn't it something?
It's hilarious.
I'm in a sports bar, and I love the two when they like, the bartender just gave up and handed me the remote. How is this not part of the training process, for Christ's sake?
You know who's a good place that's not a casino, and I'll shout him out for, I'm not getting anything back from it, is, in Miller's Ale House.
Very good. Good food, too.
Good food, good prices, and they put the games up. Mm-hmm. If they don't have it on when you walk in, and you can sit, and they got them on those angles, the perpendicular angles, sit and you get a corner, and you'll say, look, I'm looking for 3 games. Can you put 2 here and 1 there? 5 minutes, they got it up.
Yeah.
They know what to find if you ask for it. I think they do a good job.
They used to show the UFC. They still might. I don't even know, but they used to. All right, hang around again. We'll do Sweet 16 action coming up tonight. Bruce Marshall. Bruce has been spectacular on Oregon. And again, last week, before the tournament started, he said this team can make the Final Four. Does he still feel that way about the Ducks? We will ask Bruce coming up next.
And we're back with more Follow the Money on Sirius XM 204. Mitch Moss and Pauly Howard have the mics for the information you need to win.
All right, Sweet 16 action tonight. Bruce Marshall, Gold Sheet, joins the program. He was with us last week. Bruce, thanks for the time today. How are you?
Pretty good, Mitch. Ready and raring to go for Sweet 16 tonight.
Yeah, very good. Okay, so I want to go back to your appearance with us before the tournament started when you said Oregon is going to make the Sweet 16. They have a good chance to make the Final Four. You said that knowing damn well that they could get Virginia in this round. So I would assume then catching 8.5 points as of right now, you would like the Ducks then tonight with those points.
I think this is a money line play, and never mind the plus 8.5. And you can get plus 375, 380 over there at South Point or wherever you're at in Vegas. Yes, I think this is. I expect Oregon to win this game tonight. I really do.
Wow. Why do is it the defense? Is it the 3-point shooting? They're going to shut down Virginia? Why are you so strong on it?
All of the above. Just look at the fundamentals here. Not to mention recent form. You win and cover 10 in a row, and they're not just winning these games; they're throttling some pretty good teams.
Right.
Washington a couple of times. Wisconsin and UC Irvine. These games, Irvine is a real team. These score lines look the same. All these games, but these 6'8", 6'9" jumpers they've got up front, they are simply closing off the paint. And I don't think Virginia's going to get many looks close. I just don't think they will. You're going to have to shoot some threes against these guys. And one thing Virginia is not doing the last couple of weeks is shooting threes very well. They're barely 26% beyond the arc the last couple of weeks. And they labored last week. They were in trouble against Gardner-Webb, and they never really shook Oklahoma. And Oklahoma is a very modest team, I think, at this stage. This team is hot. Pritchard has got to be the perfect point guard to attack the pack line. You won't be able to speed him up. Or the only thing that concerns me is Oregon can go in some of these scoring droughts like last week against Irvine for about 10 minutes or so. But they can turn that around quick. They've got guys. I'll tell you, Paul White and Lewis King, these guys float out to the perimeter. They both shoot nearly 40% beyond the arc. They have a chilling ability to go off on a run here because he's big. So many different guys can shoot threes. I expect Oregon to sweep through this weekend and get to the Final Four. So, yes, I think they win tonight. And if you want to just go on a basic bet on plus 8.5, might be the best bet on the card here tonight.
Bruce, Mike Palm here. Do you think Oregon is going to be able to continue to shoot 50% from 3 as they've done in their first 2 games in the tournament? That's my question. I think there's going to be some regression back to the mean with this team, especially against a team that can defend like Tony Bennett's team.
I think you're probably right, Mike. That's going to be hard, and they really bunch some threes together, and they do go on some of these cold runs like that. But what I like is different guys seem to go out and make shots for them. King has really flourished, and this is another guy since Bull went down. He's really flourished. I think Paul White is the most underrated player in the tournament, and they don't necessarily have to shoot threes. He can go out to intermediate range and shoot. They're very versatile, except Wooten. Wooten's range is a dunk, but the other frontliners can all go out there and shoot. This is a very interchangeable group of players that Dana Altman's got, but they're also doing it on defense here. I mean, we talk about the pack line. I'm watching Oregon here the last month, and they're playing better defense than Virginia. And Kenny Wooten, you talk about a guy, a rim protector. He's like playing volleyball back there, the way he's knocking these shots away. And Oregon's offense doesn't look like it's hitting on all cylinders to me. So to answer your question, they're probably not going to be able to shoot 50% threes. I don't think they have to win this game.
All right, two great games. Oh, they're all great games, but these are tight with the point spread. What do you think of Purdue and Tennessee? Tennessee's 2. Michigan's 1.5 against Texas Tech. Total now 125 at the Westgate.
Yeah, Purdue game first. I like Tennessee there, even though the Vols have been a little bit anxious here the last, it's really since the SEC title game. Maybe they peaked too soon against Kentucky in the SEC tournament semifinals. I don't know. But their defense has let down at times, and there have been various points in the season where their three-point shooting wasn't there. But at their best, they'll beat Purdue. Purdue is so reliant upon Carson Edwards, and yeah, he did come up big in the game against Villanova last week, really big, with 42 points. But in the 4 games prior to that, he was 24 for 89 from the floor. Too much of Purdue's eggs are in Edwards' basket, and I just think Tennessee's got better balance. I think the bigs provide all sorts of matchup issues for Purdue, and I fully expect Tennessee to win that game. I think it might go over as well. I'm seeing a couple 147s pop up, but I think this thing gets over as well.
Okay, and then the Michigan-Texas Tech game with the Wolverines laying around 2?
Boy, this one is tough. And Texas Tech looked as good as anybody in that game last week. But something tells me that Michigan's going to be able to get over the hump here. 5th Sweet 16 in 7 seasons. Scoring defense second. I mean, they're right there. Texas Tech's right up there, too, national scoring defense. And what I like, though, is Michigan doesn't turn the ball over much at all. They lead the nation in fewest turnovers. I think Simpson's a very underrated point guard. The bigs are kind of interesting there. I mean, their hands are pretty good, and they're able to do what they need to do around the bucket. And my gut feel is Texas Tech's not going to be able to put up an effort like they did against Buffalo when it looked really good. But now they're facing an elite defense here, too. They weren't facing one last week in Buffalo. And I think Michigan gets them 62-54 was our Gold Sheet score forecast there.
Bruce, I picked Texas Tech to go to the Final Four, and as you mentioned, their play so far has done nothing to contradict that. But in a game like this, where I think it's almost a straight pick 'em, and it's just going to come down to the shooting from the outside, here's something a handicapping angle I lean on. The results of the Big Ten in this tournament have flattered them, where the results of the Big Eight have not. How much stock would you put into that when you look at these two teams that appear almost equal on paper?
Well, yeah, it's a good question, Mike. I mean, because sometimes these conference things go and they endure, and the Big Ten has done generally pretty well. But, it's still, each game is a snowflake like that. And Texas Tech has got every credential here to make a deep run. So, by this stage, if you've lasted this far, you've got something going for you. By me, though, in this game, when it comes down to if there is one thing that tilts me one way, and this is no knock on Chris Beard, it's Beilein. He's 20-7 straight up in the NCAA since 2009. He is a great coach, and if it's all else is equal, I lean to John Beilein, and that's why I'm leaning to Michigan tonight.
All right, Bruce, keep riding Oregon. Good luck. We'll see you tomorrow in studio to recap and preview. Thanks for coming on.
Okay, enjoy the games tonight, guys.
Thanks, Bruce.
Thank you, Bruce.
Interesting question, Mike, but I will. Mike, my argument is you can be a great team in a bad league. Gonzaga, I don't think the AAC was that good. I think Houston's awesome, but it's interesting because it's Texas Tech. That's it. That's all the Big 12 has left, and the Big 10's been the cat's meow here. All I have to do is win one game. They go over the total already for the conference win total, which is 10.5.
Yeah, I think the Big 12 was just so down with Kansas being down with all the injury suspensions and defections, and then Iowa State did what they usually do, got hot in the tournament in Kansas City, and Kansas State, that it could go by Wade. When he's in, he's out. They're two different teams. But I just think that for the ACC and the Big Ten, the depth of the league in those games you have to play over 18 or 20 games makes a difference to how good your team is at this time of year.
All right.
He was Could he have been stronger on Oregon tonight against Virginia?
Wow.
How about that?
Well, he backpedaled quickly and said you could take the 8.5. So I was waiting for him to. I was going to ask him all your money on the money line, Bruce, to try. Let's make this guy make a choice, okay?
Well, I mean, if
come
you
on, he's like hoops, big, broad, sweeping statements,
Right. Well,
He's got-
so like him though. Okay, in a
had him
situation
the
like
whole way.
this,
I give him
he
credit.
really has, and he said that last
he
week
said it
again.
before the tournament.
Oh, he did. Yeah, he said this team's they're good enough to make a Final Four run right now. Altman's awesome. They did.
He said after they won the first game of the Pac-12, they're winning the Pac-12.
Yeah, he called that.
He said that too.
I'll tell you, and I had him big this night. They were lucky to beat Arizona State. Hurley choked that game off. They were up 7 with 4
That's
minutes
true.
left.
You're right.
Arizona
That's
State
fair.
should have won that game, and Oregon wouldn't even be in this tournament.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. You know what's one thing too? We talked about this earlier in the week, and you mentioned I could bring him down, and you give me the couch if I want to watch games. Mm-hmm. You come down, you bring your dog, no matter what casino. You put the vest on them, they can't say anything.
That's a federal law. That's like FMLA. You can't fight this stuff. I mean, it's just the way it is, and whatever the animal is for. Who's gone against that is like Delta Airlines. Where they're bringing ostriches on as
Right.
comfort animals, and it's
Peacock.
Yeah, How far has society gone now? Yeah, but it's true. You can't even question if they have that vest on. It's
No matter the size of the dog.
Can't say anything.
Pitbull.
Oh,
Pitbull.
Not
Then you
one
just
word.
got to keep the infants out because they can crush their skull. So then you got to keep the infants away from them.
how about the Kingsbury? Did you see this?
What's
The
oh
head
Cell
coach
phone
of the
breaks?
They're doing cell phone breaks during meetings now because he said when I was at Texas Tech, guys would get twitchy.
It's more powerful than drugs, these phones.
Yeah,
You
they
can't
are.
be away from your whole life is on your phone now. You don't need anything else.
Yep.
Everything you need is right here.
Guess who did this? I think he may have been the first guy to do it. Tom Sula with the 49ers. How'd that work out?
The roofing guy.
Do we have time to get to in
We got
pocket for
time.
tonight?
Sure, we got
quickly.
time.
Let's do this. Okay, Rockies minus 138 today against the Marlins, and I'm adding North Carolina against Auburn. I love UNC in this matchup. They're going to run with them. That's a mistake.
Mike, I know you like it. The anti-fun under 1.5 buzzer beaters in the tournament, which is a great bet, and under 3.5 games go to overtime. They're only at 1, and I got a good number now. It's down to 125. Early in the week, I got Tech, Michigan under 126.5. And some other stuff on there as well.
All right, we got to fly. Thanks, man, for
Thanks
coming
for
in
coming.
studio. It was great.
Every Thursday at 6. Let's mark it down.
We'll do it. Follow him on
Mark it
Twitter.
down. Mark it down, John. Write it in. I'm looking to jump ship this afternoon.
We got to go. We got to bail.
Wishy-washy.
At Mike Palm Circa on Twitter. For those of you on NESN, you can listen to Gil Alexander next on Sirius XM channel 204. See ya.